Did you realize that Princess Anne harbored a deep-seated animosity towards Andrew for usurping her rightful place as heir? Though Anne is typically reserved in her dealings, those within the royal circle could easily perceive her unease around Andrew. This disdain extended beyond the matter of succession. Anne and her other brothers also expressed dissatisfaction when Andrew became the Queen's primary concern while she was alive. This partiality fostered a significant rift between Anne and Andrew. To uncover more about the complex relationship between these two, don't miss our video. Many observers have noted a significant disparity in the way Prince Andrew was treated compared to his older siblings, Princess Anne and Prince Charles. The consensus is that Prince Andrew was considerably spoiled, a sentiment echoed by numerous royal biographers and commentators. This perception of favoritism has permeated popular culture, even making its way into the narrative of The Crown, the acclaimed Netflix series that dramatizes the lives of the British royal family. In Season 4, the show explores this dynamic, highlighting the special bond between Queen Elizabeth II and her third child, Prince Andrew. The notion of Prince Andrew being his mother's favorite is not without basis. One of the primary reasons speculated for this preferential treatment is the timing of his birth. Prince Charles and Princess Anne were born in 1948 and 1950, respectively, during a period when their mother was still Princess Elizabeth. The demands on her time and attention increased exponentially after she ascended to the throne in 1952, following the death of her father, King George VI. Consequently, the young queen had to balance her duties to the crown with her responsibilities as a mother, often resulting in less time and attention for her eldest children during their formative years. In contrast, Prince Andrew was born in 1960, 8 years into Queen Elizabeth's reign. By this time, the Queen had settled more comfortably into her role, and the initial pressures of her position had somewhat eased. This afforded her more time to dedicate to her younger children, Andrew and Edward. This shift in circumstances is often cited as a key factor in the different parenting experiences of her children. The Queen's availability and ability to engage more fully in Andrew's upbringing might have contributed to the perception that he was her favored child. Several instances and anecdotes support the idea that Prince Andrew received special attention from his mother. Reports suggest that the Queen was more involved in Andrew's day-to-day life, from attending school events to spending leisure time together. This level of involvement was less apparent with Charles and Anne, who were primarily cared for by nannies and governesses due to their mother's demanding schedule. Additionally, Prince Andrew's personality and interests seemed to align closely with those of his mother. Both shared a love for outdoor activities, particularly equestrian pursuits. This common ground likely fostered a closer bond between them. Furthermore, Andrew's charismatic and outgoing nature endeared him to many, including the Queen, who reportedly found his company particularly delightful. The special treatment of Prince Andrew is also evident in the resources and privileges afforded to him. He enjoyed an elite education and military career, both heavily supported by the royal establishment. His lavish lifestyle and the significant financial backing he received have been subjects of scrutiny and criticism, further fueling the narrative of favoritism. According to an inside source, Prince Andrew's childhood was marked by extraordinary privileges and indulgences that were not afforded to his older siblings. Reports indicate that Andrew had no fewer than 7 nurseries spread across 4 different royal residences. This luxurious upbringing underscores the level of attention and resources devoted to him, reinforcing the perception that he was particularly pampered. From a very young age, Andrew was known for his mischievous nature, earning nicknames such as Baby Grumbling. These affectionate yet teasing monikers hinted at his propensity for getting into trouble. However, unlike typical childhood mischief which might result in reprimands or consequences, Andrew's antics rarely led to serious punishment. This leniency in discipline likely contributed to his sense of impunity, a trait that has been observed throughout his life. As he grew older, Andrew's tendency to stir up trouble didn't diminish. Instead, it seemed to escalate, and his actions often drew public and media scrutiny. Despite this, the consequences he faced were minimal, suggesting a pattern of indulgence and protection from the repercussions that would ordinarily follow such behavior. One particularly telling incident occurred in the wake of the Pan Am Flight 103 disaster in December 1988. The flight exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland, resulting in the deaths of 259 passengers and crew members, as well as 11 residents of Lockerbie. This tragedy was a devastating event that brought immense grief to the local community and to the families of those who perished. During a visit to Lockerbie, Prince Andrew made a statement that exemplified his insensitivity and lack of professionalism. He reportedly told the grieving community that the tragedy was much worse for the Americans. While it is true that a larger number of Americans were on the flight, his comment was perceived as thoughtless and dismissive of the profound loss suffered by the residents of Lockerbie. The response from the Queen to Andrew's behavior was notably mild. She expressed regret that she had not been present herself, saying, "I wish I had gone." This response reflects a pattern of gentle reproach rather than stern correction, which seems consistent with the overall approach taken toward Andrew's indiscretions. The leniency and indulgence Andrew experienced can be traced back to his childhood. The extensive and luxurious nurseries indicate that he was surrounded by comfort and privilege from his earliest days. These conditions likely fostered a sense of entitlement and an expectation that his actions would be met with understanding rather than consequences. Moreover, the lack of severe punishment for his childhood pranks and later misdeeds may have reinforced a belief that he could act with impunity. This perception could explain his sometimes cavalier attitude and the numerous controversies that have marked his adult life. The instance in Lockerbie is just one of many examples where Andrew's actions have been seen as insensitive or out of touch. It is believed that Princess Anne would be somewhat upset that Andrew was the one who pushed her down to a lower position in the line of succession. Regular viewers of the acclaimed series The Crown may already be familiar with the intricacies of royal succession, but for those who aren't, Prince Andrew's position in the line of succession has an interesting historical and legislative background. According to People, despite being younger than Princess Anne, Prince Andrew was next in line for the throne after their elder brother, Prince Charles, and his children. This peculiar order of succession is due to a stipulation under the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013. The act specifies that the gender of a person born after 28 October 2011 does not give that person or their descendants precedence over any other person, regardless of gender, in the line of succession. However, this rule does not apply retroactively to those born before this date. Therefore, despite Princess Anne being older, her younger brother Andrew was placed ahead of her in the line of succession due to the male preference primogeniture rule that was in place at the time of their births. This legislative nuance highlights a broader historical context of gender discrimination within royal succession. The rule was established under centuries-old traditions that favored male heirs over female ones, even if the females were older. As a result, Princess Anne, despite her seniority and significant contributions to the royal family, was placed behind her younger brothers in the line of succession. The situation became even more contentious after Prince Andrew was stripped of his royal duties and privileges due to various scandals and controversies. According to Express, this demotion sparked public debate in the UK, with many citizens expressing their preference for Princess Anne as a more suitable heir. The sentiment was not without reason. Princess Anne has long been recognized for her diligent work ethic, dedication to public service, and unblemished record. One Express reader encapsulated this public sentiment by stating, "Now is the time to right a wrong and end discrimination against our excellent Princess Anne." This comment reflects a growing recognition of Anne's capabilities and contributions, as well as a broader desire to address the historical gender biases that have influenced the royal succession. Princess Anne, often referred to as the hardest-working royal, has dedicated her life to various charitable causes and has carried out thousands of engagements on behalf of the crown. Her commitment to her duties has earned her widespread respect and admiration, further fueling the argument that she would make an excellent ruler. Moreover, the debate surrounding the succession highlights ongoing discussions about modernizing the monarchy. While the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013 made significant strides towards gender equality, the retrospective application of these rules remains a point of contention. Advocates for change argue that revisiting the succession rules to give precedence based on merit and seniority rather than gender would be a progressive step for the monarchy. According to Vanity Fair, Princess Anne remains an indefatigable presence in the royal family, even in her 70s. Her commitment to her royal duties stands in stark contrast to the situation of her younger brother, Prince Andrew, who was effectively pushed into retirement following the scandal surrounding his association with the late Jeffrey Epstein. This scandal has had profound repercussions for Prince Andrew, stripping him of his royal privileges and drastically altering his role within the monarchy. Despite the controversies and the subsequent public and institutional fallout, it appears that Princess Anne has informally stepped into the void left by Prince Andrew. However, it is crucial to understand that this shift is not due to a formal reordering of the line of succession. The current laws of succession remain unchanged, meaning that Andrew's children still precede Princess Anne in the line to the throne. Princess Anne's steadfast dedication to her royal responsibilities is exemplary. She has consistently been recognized as one of the hardest-working members of the royal family, undertaking a significant number of engagements each year. Her work spans a range of charitable activities and public appearances, demonstrating a commitment that has earned her considerable respect both within the UK and internationally. This tireless service has arguably cemented her role as a cornerstone of the modern monarchy. In the wake of Prince Andrew's fall from grace, many have speculated about the implications for the royal family's future. The Epstein scandal was a severe blow to the monarchy, drawing widespread criticism and necessitating a swift response from the royal institution. Andrew's forced retirement can be seen as a measure to protect the royal family's reputation and distance the institution from the damaging associations of his scandal. Princess Anne's stepping up can be seen as a stabilizing force during a tumultuous period. Her unwavering dedication provides a stark contrast to Andrew's disgrace, and she has continued to fulfill her duties with characteristic diligence. Yet despite her elevated role in public perception, the formal line of succession remains unchanged. Andrew's daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, still hold their places ahead of Anne due to the traditional laws of primogeniture that govern royal succession. The question of how Princess Anne feels about her place in the line of succession remains a subject of speculation. Known for her pragmatic and dutiful approach, Anne has never publicly expressed discontent with her position within the royal hierarchy. Her actions suggest a focus on service rather than ambition, consistently prioritizing her responsibilities over any personal aspirations for the throne. This attitude aligns with her lifelong commitment to her role, embodying a sense of duty that has been the hallmark of her public life. Considering the stark differences in their personalities, it is unsurprising that Princess Anne and Prince Andrew may not always see eye to eye. Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense demeanor and dedication to her duties, contrasts sharply with Prince Andrew's reputation for a more carefree and sometimes frivolous lifestyle. This dynamic, characterized by Anne's pragmatism and Andrew's inclination towards enjoyment, sets the stage for potential familial tensions. Princess Anne has often described herself as the boring old fuddy-duddy at the back, saying, "Don't forget the basics," as reported by Vanity Fair. This self-characterization highlights her commitment to tradition, duty, and a straightforward approach to her royal responsibilities. Anne's dedication is reflected in her tireless work ethic and her steadfast adherence to protocol, traits that have earned her a reputation for reliability and seriousness. On the other hand, Prince Andrew's lifestyle choices have frequently placed him in the public eye for less favorable reasons. Known for his outgoing personality and a penchant for revelry, Andrew's behavior has often been perceived as less serious and more indulgent. This tendency to seek enjoyment, sometimes at the expense of propriety, has contributed to a public image that contrasts markedly with that of his sister. The differing personalities of Anne and Andrew naturally extend to their interactions within the family. While familial obligations and love can often smooth over such differences, there have been notable instances where tensions have flared. A particularly illustrative example involves a confrontation between Anne and Andrew over Sarah Ferguson, Andrew's wife at the time. According to David Lee, co-author of The Duchess of York Uncensored, an incident at a family lunch highlighted the friction between Anne and Andrew. During the lunch, Anne reportedly referred to Sarah Ferguson as an outsider, a comment that sparked a heated argument between the siblings. Ferguson, feeling deeply hurt by the remark, left the lunch in tears. In the aftermath, Prince Andrew demanded that Anne apologize for her insensitive comment. Remarkably, Anne did apologize, though the incident underscores the underlying tensions that can arise from their differing perspectives and personalities. Despite their differing personalities and occasional tensions, Princess Anne and Prince Andrew still share several significant life experiences, particularly during a tumultuous period in the early 1990s. In 1992, often referred to as the Annus Horribilis by Queen Elizabeth II, both siblings went through very public and personal upheavals in their marriages. In that year, Prince Andrew and his wife Sarah Ferguson announced their legal separation. The couple had been married since 1986, and their relationship had been under intense media scrutiny for various reasons, including Ferguson's often controversial behavior and rumors of infidelity. Their separation was formalized in 1992, but their divorce was not finalized until 1996. The separation was a significant public spectacle, adding to the pressures on Andrew, who was already dealing with the challenges of his public and private life. Similarly, Princess Anne experienced a profound personal change in 1992. She officially divorced her husband, Mark Phillips, in April of that year. Anne and Phillips had been married since 1973, but their marriage had faced numerous challenges, including long periods of separation due to their respective careers and reported infidelities. Anne's divorce was also highly publicized, given her status and the royal family's prominence. However, later that same year, Anne found new happiness and stability by marrying Seymour Timothy J.H. Lawrence in December. Lawrence, a former equerry to the Queen, had been a supportive and understanding partner, helping Anne navigate the complexities of royal life. In addition to their parallel marital upheavals, Anne and Andrew share another commonality. Both have 2 children. Princess Anne has a son, Peter Phillips, born in 1977, and a daughter, Zara Tyndall, née Phillips, born in 1981. Both children have led relatively private lives compared to their royal cousins, with Peter and Zara opting for careers outside the traditional royal duties. Zara, in particular, has gained recognition as an accomplished equestrian, much like her mother. Prince Andrew, on the other hand, has 2 daughters, Princess Beatrice, born in 1988, and Princess Eugenie, born in 1990. Unlike Anne's children, Beatrice and Eugenie hold royal titles and have often been in the public eye, both for their roles within the royal family and their personal endeavors. The sisters are known for their charitable work and have navigated their share of media scrutiny, especially during the periods of controversy surrounding their father. Given these shared experiences, It is plausible that Anne and Andrew might have exchanged advice and support regarding parenting. Despite their differences, siblings often find common ground in their family roles and responsibilities. Anne's experience raising Peter and Zara, especially in balancing their royal heritage with a sense of normalcy, could have provided valuable insights for Andrew as he navigated similar challenges with Beatrice and Eugenie. Conversely, Andrew's understanding of the media's impact on his daughters might have been beneficial to Anne, especially regarding public perception and managing personal privacy. However, Anne was still very fair and private when she was the first person to agree to punish Andrew in his scandal. After Prince Andrew's past association with the late Jeffrey Epstein came back to haunt him, leading to significant legal and reputational fallout, Princess Anne and her siblings faced the daunting task of addressing the Andrew problem. The allegations and subsequent legal battles surrounding Andrew's connections with Epstein cast a long shadow over the royal family, necessitating a unified response to mitigate the damage and protect the monarchy's integrity. According to the Daily Mail, Princess Anne, along with her brothers Prince Charles and Prince Edward, held several meetings to discuss the best course of action regarding Andrew. These discussions, one of which included Andrew himself, were pivotal in shaping the royal family's collective stance on the matter. The siblings' agreement on the need for decisive action helped relieve some of the pressure on their mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who, despite her authority, faced a deeply personal and public crisis involving her son. The dynamics within the royal family played a crucial role in these discussions. Prince Charles and Prince Andrew were not particularly close, making it essential for Anne and Edward to be involved in the meetings. Their presence ensured that the decisions made were seen as balanced and fair, considering the gravity of the situation. The involvement of all siblings, including Andrew, in these discussions highlights the complexity of the situation and the need for a collective approach. This collaborative effort can be viewed from different perspectives. On the one hand, it might be perceived as the siblings ganging up on Andrew to strip him of his royal and military titles, effectively ostracizing him from the family and public life. This interpretation suggests a harsh and unsympathetic response to Andrew's predicament, driven by a desire to distance the royal family from the scandal as quickly as possible. On the other hand, the meetings can be seen as a supportive and pragmatic approach to a deeply challenging issue. By coming together, the siblings, including Andrew, aimed to find a solution that would alleviate the burden on their mother and address the legal and public relations crisis facing the family. This perspective emphasizes the family's unity and collective responsibility in managing the fallout, rather than simply casting Andrew aside. Ultimately, the Queen's role remained central. As the head of the family and the monarchy, her approval and decisions carried the most weight. However, the consensus among her children provided her with the support and counsel needed to navigate this unprecedented situation. The Queen's authority ensured that the final decisions, such as stripping Andrew of his titles and roles, were carried out in a manner that upheld the monarchy's dignity and continuity. The fallout from the Andrew problem had far-reaching implications. Prince Andrew's attempt to dismiss the court case failed, leading to increased scrutiny and pressure on the royal family. The siblings' meetings demonstrated their collective effort to manage the crisis internally, preserving the family's unity while addressing the legal and reputational challenges. What do you think about the relationship of Princess Anne and Prince Andrew? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.